Can you imagine being a young Jewish student and your parents make you go to like Alabama because they're worried about the anti-Semitism at Columbia?
Right. I'm worried about anti-Semitism in New York City. So I'm gonna go roll Tide down there with all the Klansmen. Like, are you joking?
This one is really fun. Sam Seder, Emma Vigeland, and the team at the Majority Report with Sam Seder have a great time making fun of Tomi Lahren and Patrick Bet-David. Tomi Lahren was a guest on Patrick Bet-David's Biz Bro podcast, and they're looking at clips of this. So yes, I'm a guy commenting on people, and welcome to the internet. This one's really funny. So why don't we check it out together? I'm going to have some thoughts, and then I want to know what you think of the comments.
Who do they have on? Oh, it's Tomi Lahren. And
wasn't she excommunicated from Republican circles because she dared to support some abortion?
Well,
something like that.
She said being pro-choice was the more libertarian route. Now she's trying to get back in with freaks, it looks like.
And here she is, of course. Why do you bring Tomi Lahren on? Well, it's quite obvious. You bring her on to talk about the anti-Semitism on campus.
South Dakota's own Tomi Lahren.
Yep.
That's exceeding $2 billion.
Oh, we've got it on Matt speed.
Not watching this at normal speed.
Yeah, I hear you.
And I keep on my Columbia University already.
Just a note, this is a few days ago when they thought that Harvard was going to settle with Trump for $500 million, which they're denying now.
Paid $200 million.
Yep.
There's a couple other schools. Brown, I think, is going through a $50 million deal with the administration. UCLA settled for only $6.13 million. But Harvard, $500 million. Tommy, what do you think? Why do you think?
Not about the money, first of all. And we would not be in this situation at all if you could just protect your Jewish students. It's really not that hard. And they fought tooth and nail under a former President Otto Penn. I don't think that they felt the pressure and the heat.
God, pause it for a second. I haven't seen Tomi Lahren in a long time, and she honestly, if you said oh no, they replaced her with a Borg. I know. Yeah, no, she's now a robot, and she's just programmed to. First of all, she's right. It's not about the money, because the money is just a number that they have decided to choose as to what they're going to punish these schools with. It's also not at all about anti-Semitism. In addition to the anti-Semitism not existing on these campuses, it is also not about the anti-Semitism at all. It is about just the full-on authoritarianism. Is she still a libertarian, or is that gone?
I'll have to look into that.
It sort of feels like it's drained out of she may have had that operated and removed.
She's on the Glenn Beck crawlback.
Exactly.
But that's the President Otto Penn is Trump's been saying that, so she's got to throw that in there, right?
I know, it's fascinating. All right, go ahead.
President Otto Penn. I don't think that they felt the pressure and the heat. President Trump comes into office. He says, I'm not going to deal with this anymore. I'm going to hold your feet to the fire. It's not about the money. It's not about the settlement. It's about the message that this sends to the Ivy League schools. You will not be allowed to bully and harass Jewish students. They will not be kept from their classes that they're paying for. They will not be intimidated. Not about the money. It's about the message. But I think the fact that President Trump has held strong on this, it's pretty incredible, because they keep calling this man Hitler and a Nazi, but I can't think of many other world leaders that have stood up for Jewish students and Jewish people quite like this current president.
Yeah, I mean, the question I got is, why is Harvard half, Columbia 200, Brown 50, and UCLA 6.1? It's
arbitrary.
Almost as if UCLA is being seen like, dude, you're a nobody, just pay 6.1. Or were they easier to deal with, Tom? What do you know about the story?
I don't know if you caught it, but he said it. It's because it's arbitrary. It doesn't appear to make any sense because it's absolutely nonsensical. Tomi Lahren, it's not about the money. It's not about the money. The actions of the Trump administration and his corrupt family business, it's not about the money. The meme coin that Trump put out is not about the money. The Melania meme coin is not about the money. That's all it's about. That is literally all it's about. The money and the ego. The end. Full stop.
Well, UCLA's suit.
Oh, pause it. Hold on for a second. Now, they bring in old man Tom here. He's the policy expert. So basically, he's the guy on the show who reads the article.
Yes. Yes. He has the most authority.
Or has
He's the one-
ChatGPT summarized.
He's the
Yeah.
one who reads the article or tells the intern to read the article and explain the article to him. That's what
He reads the production document. Let's be real.
Can I just give just one solution to your brain teaser PBD about why the numbers are different? Because it's arbitrary. Because it's not meant. There's actually no substance here at all.
Group that didn't get federal support.
The story.
Well, UCLA's suit came from a group that didn't get federal support. So this was I believe that's correct. This is an independent group that came and said, hey, this anti-Zionist stuff and the things you were doing on here, we feel settlement. And so UCLA is making a fast settlement with an independent group. Now, if that settlement gets the attention of the White House, which I imagine it would, there could be a federal round to this fight. But that's what's going on with UCLA. But you know what's
we'll
really
do
interesting
that.
about this?
We can get
There
some.
are 7,000 undergrad students at Harvard. I think it's 7,089. And number one. Number two,
Pause it for a
the
second.
tuition.
Does he really think it's 7,089? Or is he maybe just looking at a piece of paper that says
Roughly thereabouts.
roughly, I think last I counted, I've memorized the attendance of all colleges, at least in the Northeast and also in the Northwest. And last I think it's 7,089.
It's my job as a policy expert.
Yeah, exactly. I'm the policy expert. That's why I said 7,000.
That's why I only had time to dye my hair and not my goatee.
It's a low blow, but that is so funny. Oh, that's why I only had time to dye my hair, not my goatee.
I'm going to skip just a little bit ahead while they do math. Here.
I was wondering who was going to go into that.
With the financial aid that goes out there, it comes out to $55,000 a student. What is 7,000 students times $55,000?
Don't do this to Vinny, bro.
$385 million.
My gosh, Vinny, that's correct.
How the hell?
So they could have
cheated.
They could have taken the $500 million and just told all their students, guess what? We're sorry about what happened. Nobody pays tuition this year. So it is about the message. I agree with Tommy. It is not
It's a fun little thing he says where it kind of proves a point that we could do free college. But there's a little bit more from Tommy here coming up that we can, after he makes this kind of weird point.
Nobody pays tuition this year. So it is about the message. I agree with Tommy. It is not about the money, but we need to take a look at what really the scope of money also is here. It's also the public embarrassment because to the average person, holy crap, $500 million? They don't know that Harvard's got like a $53 billion endowment right now. I think it's crossed over 53. The average person doesn't know that, but the headline is Trump beat Harvard, Harvard paid up. And that is, I think, the strong message here that just like the trade, one at a time he's getting them, and now the Ivy League, one at a time he's
There's
getting
two
them.
things that strike me. One, obviously sensitive to it today because of our interview. He's just basically saying, it's just a full-on authoritarianism.
Right.
It's really not meaningful for any way. The bottom line is Trump beat Harvard.
Big man wins.
The other thing that I found fascinating is how he says, people would be shocked to know that Harvard has this much money. And I think people should be. Now just replace the word Harvard with a name like Elon or a Bill,
right,
or a dozen other, probably more, billionaires.
Sam Cedar makes a great point here because this pearl clutching over but people don't realize how much money Harvard has. The entire cabinet of this administration is billionaires, right? And the Republican mantra for my entire lifetime has been small government, fiscal responsibility, small government. We're cutting waste, right? This is about efficiency. No, it's not. It's extortion, right? So yes, it's authoritarianism. Strong man wins. But it really gives the lie to this idea of the Republican tenet of small government, right? This is government that aims for a small handful of people who have unimaginable amounts of money to control everything, to privatize government systems, to privatize the post office, to privatize Medicare and Medicaid, to privatize prisons, to privatize absolutely everything and reap even more profits, right? They already have unimaginable amounts of money. Now it's a race to who's going to be the first trillionaire, which is literally an inconceivable amount of wealth. And, it just comes out of all the rest of ours pockets. It's this vacuum cleaner sucking money upwards into the hands of the oligarchic few, fewer and fewer. So I think it's really interesting that this guy sort of bumbled across, we could make tuition free. Yeah, it's possible. We could have free tuition, and it's totally doable. We would need to tax, the very 0.01% of the wealthiest people to pay for that, but we should be doing that anyway.
People would be shocked to find out that they have that kind of money as well. But they would never say that there.
Rob, can you find out, and Tommy, I want to come to you, Rob, can you find out what the endowment is for UCLA,
Business
Harvard,
guy.
Columbia, and what it is for Brown? Go ahead, Tommy. You wanted to say something.
Yeah, I do, because I think not only is this a message being sent, I think the message for especially young Jewish students and their family, this is also an incredibly strong message. A settlement's great, an acknowledgement is great, but I'll tell you, a lot of these young Jewish students, they're not going to the Ivy League in the Northeast anymore. I'll tell you where they're going. They're going to Tennessee. They're going to Alabama. They're going to Mississippi. They're going to Florida. They're going to SEC schools and some others because they don't want to be harassed and they want to go to school and they don't want to have protests on their campus. They don't want another encampment when these nerds are too...
I'd be willing to bet a significant amount of money that what she just said is 100%.
Can you imagine being a young Jewish student and your parents make you go to like Alabama because they're worried about the anti-Semitism at Columbia?
Right. I'm worried about anti-Semitism in New York City. So I'm gonna go roll Tide down there with all the Klansmen. Like, are you joking?
I'm gonna have to say, probably not the case.
We need to protect you from anti-Semitism. Good luck in Charleston.
When I went to college in Connecticut, there was a woman. Now, granted, this is 40 years ago, but she was from Virginia. 40 years ago, Virginia, and she genuinely thought that I had horns on my head. Ooh. Yes. Yep. That was like the first couple of days. She was in my dorm, and she's like.
But did she think Israel had a right to protect itself?
That's so good. Did she think Israel had a right to protect itself? That's solid gold.
Did you have horns? And I'm like, what? I don't even know if I knew about that at that time. Like, that was a thing. Like, I mean, I probably did, but I was like, wait, are you fucking with me? Like, I thought, like, oh, she's funny. No. I mean, she was perfectly nice.
Did you tell him the moil removes
That doesn't
them?
sound nice.
Yeah, no, the moil takes them off.
Kanye will be looked at as someone that saved the Jews.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. You want to Jew me down on what? Okay. Yeah, no, I don't know if I would, go ahead.
protests on their campus because they don't want to be harassed and they want to go to school and they don't want to have protests on their campus. They don't want another encampment when these nerds are too socially awkward and unaware to actually enjoy college. They'd rather be out protesting and waving Hamas flags. They want to go to Alabama.
I like how it's social unawareness to be protesting a genocide.
Right.
You Hamas nerds.
God, that kid is on fire in this video. I love how it is social unawareness to be protesting a genocide. Everyone, solid gold.
You know what this is a version of? This is like this is her Dem exit. Was she on that train? So this is Jewish exit. Jexit.
Well, Ruben's been trying to do that for a while.
Jexit? Jexit and Dexit?
Yeah, I think he actually did literally have a Jexit.
He Jexited, but she's saying there's a mass Jexiting to the south to escape the anti-Semitism of the north.
Specifically Zionist Jews, so Exexit.
want to rush a fraternity or a sorority. They want to have a college experience. So it's going to take a lot more from Harvard and the rest of these Ivy Leagues than just a settlement or even just an apology. They're going to have to change the culture on campus, because you're going to see people fleeing to better schools with more attractive people with a better college experience. And that happens in the South.
I want to go back to college now.
Are we already
Enough
seeing
of that speech.
I bet you do.
Okay, Adam, Mr. knows every state that
Age of consent.
Age of consent.
Oh, yes.
What do you mean go back to college? You mean you want to go on a college tour right now?
Yes.
Non-traditional student over here.
I mean, right. He wants to go back to class. The context of the conversation you're referencing was him basically defending some of the people that might have been in Jeffrey Epstein's Black Book, right?
Yes.
So.
Oh man, this one was so fun for me. I love Emma Vigeland and Sam Seder. I think they work well together. Sam Seder is very funny. I sometimes think that Emma Vigeland actually has the more astute and succinct political takes, and it goes well together. The team of support folks they have on the Majority Report are on fire in this video, and I'm ashamed to say I don't know the kid's name that keeps piping in with these zingers, but man, he stole it for me and does frequently. I think Tomi Lahren is the perfect guest for the Patrick Bet-David podcast, because Vinny Oshana and that whole crew of dopes, they just love the sound of their own voices, and it's like they're trying to one-up themselves with dumber. They say this stuff unironically. They say this stuff absolutely unironically, and it just gets dumber and dumber the more they talk. But man, it is great fun to make fun of, and I think that Sam Seder and Emma Vigeland and the team at the Majority Report are in rare form in this video. I really enjoyed it. Did you really enjoy it? Let me know what you think in the comments.